today I want to talk about betting on yourself. And the reason why, let me get the fucking rid of this one. The reason why I want to talk about betting on yourself is because right now it's November 2025. And this is when I really started to take my business serious after I had left the UK and moved to Bali. And my life now compared to my life a year ago is completely different. And I haven't achieved all the goals I've set out and I haven't done everything that I've wanted, but I have been able to achieve a lot more in a year than I ever thought I could. And that's why it's something that I've been thinking a lot in the shower, and I want to tell my story. I want to tell some trials and tribulations, have some fun with it, and just talk some shit. So, probably don't know who the fuck I am. And this time around a year ago, I left the UK, was in a corporate 9-to-5, and moved to Bali. And I, day in, day out, worked as hard as I fucking could to build my business. And what's funny is, when I decided to take the plunge, I'm not gonna name any names, we're not gonna make this a I told you so haters video. It's not that kind of video, it's not that kind of content. But I had a lot of doubts, and even people that cared about me, and I think you're far more likely, especially if you're just a regular person, to hear doubts from people that love you because they're scared to see you fall and burn, rather than people being like, you can't do it. And there were people that were close to me who were like, hey, are you sure about this? Do you know if you can do this? Does it make any sense? And I knew in my soul that I had to bet on myself. And then it made sense to do it. And I want to just like share and explain why, if you are thinking about betting on yourself, especially in business, you can, and frankly, you must do it. So one thing one of my friends said to me was like, what gave you the confidence to take such a big leap and know that you were going to be okay? Now, frankly, no one ever knows they're going to be okay, but they just take that leap of faith literally, and then they figure the rest out. They jump outside of the plane and they build the parachute as they're going down. And then they hopefully land safely. But what set me up to be able to bet on myself and take such a big fucking risk? I got fired from my job, building my business, making no money, and then blasting to like 25K a month, which in the online business world ain't shit. But for someone that's gone from making $0 and had to rely on his 9-to-5 to make money to 25K, it's fucking huge, it's life-changing. But the thing that set me up, sorry to go back to my point, was that there have been many instances in my life where I've bet on myself and I've just worked really hard and I've worked like my life depended on it, and then I've paid off on betting myself. So I'll give an example. When I was at school, when I was in the 7th grade, year 7, I was such a bad student. I was awful. I didn't study effectively, I didn't do the work, and I just didn't care. But in the UK, the only exams that count toward anything are in year 11. It's called GCSEs, and then the next batch are A-levels in year 13. And I knew if I just worked as hard as I humanly possibly could for year 10 and 11, I'd catch up and I'd be able to win. And the amount of hate that I got, and rightly so, I'm a 13-year-old saying, no, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna apply to the best university in the world, like, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks, I know I'm correct. Which in hindsight was extremely arrogant, and if I was adult around me, I would have said, who the fuck is this kid? But that experience set me up, and when it came time to work, bro, I worked stare into my soul. I worked like my life depended on it. I worked so fucking hard. And I absolutely smashed it. My grades were super good. I applied to Oxford the next year, didn't get in. But the point is that one experience set me up in that if I need to take a bet on myself, I can do it and I can win. And now, many years later, it reminded me of the same situation where I'm hearing people who love me, 95%, people who love me, people who care about me, who are fearful for me to fall and lose a bunch of money and have to come back to the UK and get a 9-to-5 and all that shit. I had that in my ear, but then I just knew that if I spent every waking moment working as hard as I could, doing everything I could for my clients, going above and beyond, I would just beat people. And bro, I'm not some fucking business guru, but what I can say is that when you're actually in business and you see who you're competing against, some of these niggas, man, like some of this shit some of your competitors do, it gives you so much confidence. It makes you think, damn, I can win this shit. People don't follow up with prospects. People do bad outreach. People don't care about client results. So if you literally just give a shit, especially in a B2B environment, business to business environment, bro, you will defeat your enemies. You will defeat people just because you care. And I honestly think the reason why my life has changed so much in the past year is because I have just cared so much about client results, I've cared so much about doing the right thing. I've cared so much about learning and becoming the best business person that I possibly could. And that just put me in such good stead. And now, but honestly, dude, it's December's coming up. And I remember in June, I literally wasn't going to fly back for Christmas because I was like, I can't really justify the expense. My nigga, I can justify the expense. I might try and fly first class, bro. I might look at the first class tickets at this rate, genuinely. I might be like, you know what? The business is doing well, you're bringing in money, you deserve to fly first class. And I've never flown first class before, so I tell you, when your boy's flying first class, your boy's he's gonna be loving life. But the point is that you just have to have the bet on yourself and then work as hard as you can to backdate all the betting, all the work that has to be done, and bro, you'll win. Okay, let me look at my notes real quick, because I have a couple points. I wanna keep this raw, bro. I wanna keep this raw, baby. I'm not saying go in raw, I'm saying keeping it raw. Cool. Amazing. And then on top of that, the next thing I want to talk about is that, because I think when people say, oh, don't chase your dreams, all that stuff, I think if you're a 32-year-old man, you're talking about chasing your dreams, then you need to grow up. But chasing your goals and attacking your goals is a completely different, it's a completely different story itself. And to give an example, so I spoke about this group ad nauseum, and there's some things I can't announce yet. But there's this group called Client Ascension that has helped me grow my business so much. I owe so much of my short stint and success to those guys. And when I joined that group, no bullshit, I was deeply insecure about speaking to other business owners because there were so many business owners doing 100, 200, 300 grand a month. No bullshit, some absolute killers in there. To now, building my network, making friends, developing relationships, being able to actually work with the founders in some capacity. One of my clients is one of the founders of the fucking thing. And on my life, if you had said to me this time last year, this is where I'd be, I honestly would have been like, you're so full of shit. You're so full of shit. And I think it's just people underestimate how much they can change their life in a year if you just bet on yourself and you just work. Like one of my housemates said something and I thought it was so beautiful. He literally said, he calls me Danimal. I don't know why he fucking calls me that. I hate when he calls it Daniel Animal. He's so annoying. He's like my little brother. He was like, Daniel, you completely changed your life in a year. And I have. And I did. But it wasn't without the sleepless nights, the struggle, I don't know how much I want to share. I'll share absolutely everything, like the sleepless nights, struggling in more ways than I would have wanted to struggle, but just sticking it out, baby, just sticking it out. And I'm not saying that I'm this big success, and I'm not saying that I have all these clients and I'm building this absolutely massive business, and I am going to do that, but I'm not there yet. But the point is that everything that I dreamed of, I have achieved simply because I bet on myself, I said that I could do it, and I worked as hard as I possibly could to make it happen, bro. And fuck me, that feels good. That feels really good to say. And with 2026 on the horizon, I have such big plans for building this business. I have such good outreach. If I don't toot my own horn, I have such good outreach. I have so many plans about how far I want to take this. And I think what's so awesome about this thing is that because I have been able to build a business, and because I've gone through so much, I know that if I have to build a future business, if I have to struggle again, I know that I can go through it because I've been through the light at the end of the tunnel. And maybe you're in the middle of the tunnel. Maybe you're struggling. Maybe you feel shit. But this is the entire point of betting on ourselves. This is why we bet on ourselves. This is why we're going through this. so we can come out on the other side of the tunnel, so we can come out better, stronger, faster, fitter. And we have the best story ever when you get through it. And that story is, I bet on myself and I made my business work. Because everybody knows how fucking hard it is to be in business and to have a successful business and manage employees and just make it happen. That's why everybody is an employee, and that's why very few people are an employer with staff. So fucking step up. Feels good. Anyways, appreciate you watching. Watch this video next. Nigga, just watch this next video, all right? I'll see you next week. Big one next week, bro. I've been doing some shit. I've been making some moves, bro. I've been making some money moves, bro. Anyways,